Hi, I'm Roberta LaRocca, a realtor and broker salesperson with Simply Vegas Real Estate. Now, if you're wondering why I always include that in my videos, it's actually one of many Nevada real estate laws that I have to follow. This is for identifying my brokerage, and some form of this is required, even if simply making a real estate related comment on social media, as that could be considered advertising. If I don't do it, I can face a $500 fine for each offense. Now, of course, there are also federal laws, and as a realtor, a code of ethics, and also rules and regulations that include the MultiList that can also have fines for violations. And obviously, many of these are for consumer protections. So what does all this have to do with shopping for homes online? Well, to be able to act as your agent in a transaction, the first document I need you to sign is a State of Nevada duties owed by a Nevada real estate licensee. And no, it's not what you owe, it's what I owe to you as your agent. Part of this includes that I disclose to the client material facts of which the licensee has knowledge concerning the real estate transaction. So that would include providing you with correct information to the best of my knowledge. Whether this was a requirement or not, for me personally, I believe this is what you should expect from a professional. But this is where issues can arise with so many of the online home search sites, as many people have been given the perception that these sites are where you find correct details and facts. This from TV ads, statement of accuracy, or frequency of updates, and boosted by media stories, labeling them the leading, best, foremost, complete, or whatever adjective may be used, followed by source. But when it comes to homes listed on the MultiList or MLS, that source term is rather debatable. So stick with me and you'll find out why that is. Now yes, these sites can have a great looking platform and all sorts of information. But on many occasions, some important information seems to have been lost in cyberspace, or the choice of information a home search site includes, or for some reason just doesn't include. Really, it's not unusual for me to have a client with a list of homes they'd like to see, but often many are already under contract, have been withdrawn, or have even sold. So they're just not available. That seems to be even more amplified as we continue with conditions of limited inventory and relatively low time on market. Beyond this availability issue, I've had clients and potential clients that already know everything about a home, or at least they think they do. And it's understandable why they feel that way, from what so many have been led to believe about these sites. I might get a call or email that goes something like this. They may tell me they found this great house, and it doesn't have any homeowner association, or HOA fees as they're often called. But I look at my data, and I have to tell them, no, it does. And the HOA fees are $723 per quarter. Their response is typically, but, and you can fill in the site's name, says, and that's where their confusion begins. Because who do you believe? Media and TV ad promoted, billion-dollar, Wall Street-backed companies that are said to have the latest technology and are a real estate source? Perhaps one of the top search results when online home shopping? Or a realtor, like myself. Actually, that HOA price situation I just mentioned did happen recently. A home already on the market for 2 weeks had a variety of HOA fees listed online. One site doesn't list any HOA fees, while another lists them at $0. 3 more had them at $60 a month. But even that still doesn't add up to the $723 per quarter. Now, this was for a home in a guard-gated community with its own community center and recreation facilities. So it isn't hard to imagine that there would be HOA fees. But that's not what they saw online. Oh, and on that one site with 0 fees, it also listed this home as being in a Sun City, which is great if you're looking for a 55+ age-restricted community. But if you love the house and were not looking for age-restricted, you just pass it by. And that would be a shame, because the home isn't in a Sun City. Now, I could go on and on about how many times I've run into incorrect or omitted information that home buyers were often shocked to discover. But for now, let me give you a better understanding of what can happen when home shopping online that I believe will help you avoid a lot of frustration and confusion. Let's start with the MultiList home details. For MLS listing information, I think you'll find these sites aren't actually a source of this information and should be considered more of an aggregator that is just pulling data from a source. Now, to see why that is, just take a look at their Las Vegas MLS home listings. On some sites, you might have to hunt or scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. But somewhere there, you'll see something to the effect of source, a courtesy of GLVAR, or copyright of Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. Some may include brokerage or possibly a listing agent's name, and that seems to depend on the site or how much is paid to it. In any case, the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors is the source. That's also true for any brokerage or realtors online search, including my own website search. There you'll find a disclaimer that shows it's also from the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors. But one thing with the search I offer, it isn't from a third-party vendor. It's provided directly from the GLVAR matrix system. This is a detailed database system that is paid for by members of the association. Tax and other information is fed into it directly from local agencies. And of course, the listings, descriptions, and photos are created by the member realtors. Yet the issue with many online sites seems to be how they scrape and display this and any other data they may incorporate, and what they may change or just not include. Take that HOA fees example. Out of 5 popular real estate aggregator sites, all pulling from the same GLVAR data, and none of them had it right. Yes, and that included Realtor.com, that is actually owned and operated by Move Incorporated. It's just licensed to use the name, and as an official site, from an agreement that dates back to the mid-90s. So why does this incorrect information happen? I have no explanation. I can only say that I can't, and personally have no intention of knowingly providing you with incorrect information. Then, if you're looking at these sites and just have a simple question, they may have some sort of contact form for more information. That seems pretty simple and convenient. This form can include anything from a single agent shown, multiple agents, or just left as a mystery as to who may be contacting you. So if you're wondering why that is, you have to know what these types of sites actually are. You'll get a good idea just from the largest of them, Zillow, who has multiple competing sites under the Zillow Group's flag, like Trulia, Hotpads, and realestate.com, to name a few. So take a look at what is found in Zillow's Terms of Use. Near the top, in Section 1, Zillow Group's role, and in all caps it states, Zillow Group does not, and the services are not intended to provide financial or real estate advice. Zillow Group is not a financial or real estate broker or lender. For additional information, please see Section 8. That's immediately followed by, but now back to normal type, Zillow Group's business is primarily funded through advertising. And for Zillow, They state that 71% of their funding comes from premier agent and broker advertising. Now, I'm not disparaging any agents, brokers, or lenders who choose to advertise on these sites, as they've become incredibly popular. But I would want consumers to be aware that by appearing on these sites, they are an advertiser, not that they are vetted in some way because they are given some sort of title, like Premier. You'll see that a bit clearer on Zillow and Trulia, where you may possibly see a listing agent's picture, and then their Premier agents. At the bottom of the contact disclaimer, they've added a little line that states, Trulia does not endorse any real estate professionals. Hover over the real estate professionals in that line, and a pop-up appears that further states, real estate professionals includes the real estate agents and brokers, mortgage lenders and loan officers, property managers, and other professionals you may interact with through Trulia. So, filling out a request for information, even for a simple question, may become interesting. If you read the disclaimer of the contact form, you are agreeing to be contacted, even through automated means, from their real estate professionals and the website. Now, with our current tight market, it can be a challenge to find the right home. It's pretty frustrating to have a limited selection, but even more upsetting when you may see so many available homes online. The question is, are the homes actually available? And is the information for them correct? Here again, I, or any other agent, even if you put a super, best, greatest of all time, or a premier agent title in front of the name, can't change a home status or information because an aggregator site displays something different. Now, market information or online home values are yet another part of the confusion. Google Las Vegas median home price and Zillow comes in at the top, listing median value at $257,200. The next thing you'll notice is why it's actually a good thing that they don't give financial advice. You can see they show the Las Vegas median list price per square foot is $161, which they say is lower than the Las Vegas metro average of $161? Well, I don't know what is worse, that they say $161 is lower than $161, or that they want to compare median and average, which are two different animals. With this posted online for July, yet they're using data ending in May of 2018. You'll also see a map on that page that has boundaries of the city of Las Vegas and parts of unincorporated Clark County in the valley, but not the greater Las Vegas area. But just below this search listing, you'll also see median home value for the Las Vegas metro area at $261,900. The map for that doesn't show any boundaries and includes parts of Utah, Arizona, California, and parts of Nevada's Nye and Lincoln counties. Their map even shows Ralston, Nevada, a mining camp that was home to 15 people and abandoned in 1928. Some of the cities listed on this metro page are 40 to 80 miles away, with some not cities, but unincorporated towns. And both these metro and Las Vegas median numbers are significantly lower than what is, and how it has been reported, by GLVAR. There are a number of reasons why this is. One reason is that they mix condos and townhomes with single-family homes. Then they work their magic methodology, which you can also find online. Just get out your scientific calculator to work their equations. Oh, and of course, their estimates are in this mix. And even the CEO of Zillow found out how accurate those are, both when he sold his home for 40% less than its estimate, and again when he purchased his new home for over $1 million above this estimate. But of course, that was fluffed off as being expected when dealing with unique, expensive homes. Yet there was that home in Seattle that was purchased for a little over $200,000 and had its estimate of $1.8 million, or 700% above its value. Well, that was the fault of third-party vendors, so they say. But there in Seattle, they did admit that their values for a typical single-family home can be off as much as $40,000. And this whole home value thing can be explained in Zillow's Pro Agent blog post titled, "But Zillow Says My Home Is Worth." It explains there that, as a consumer, it's your fault because consumers don't read their fine print. They go on to say that agents, like myself, are needed to provide you with a comparative market analysis, and that it's the agent's job to educate the consumer. So, now that you know about this, consider yourself educated. I'll include some of these links below in the video description so you can see for yourself. So what is different with the GLVAR median home prices? Well, for one, there's no rocket science involved. It's just what median actually is. The middle number from a series of numbers. There are an equal number of homes sold above and below that price. And median isn't as easily swayed if there is an abnormally high or low number involved. Next, GLVAR reports median home prices separately from condos and townhomes. Combining them skews them higher for those looking for condos or townhomes, and lower for those looking for single-family homes. So doing this gives the consumer a better understanding of pricing. While I can separate just the city and county areas of Las Vegas, as Zillow has done, reporting for the Las Vegas area includes what you see in dark blue on this map. This would add Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Boulder City, not all the outlying areas of Clark County that are miles away. Now here I've been showing the May 2018 statistics for comparison to Zillow's, but I already have June's data available since the beginning of July. You'll notice the prices dropped slightly for the month, which seems to contradict those that like to claim real estate agents drive up prices. No, what buyers purchase and are willing to pay is what determines prices. You might also notice that listing price versus sold price is still in the 99% range and much different than seen on Zillow. I believe you can now see that comparing Zillow's median home values to GLVAR's actual median prices, not to mention the difference in the properties and areas, is like comparing apples to oranges. But I'll be the first to tell you that statistics like these only give a very general overview. Again, Las Vegas City and the county are a little lower than the rest of the valley. But if I pull just one area from it, this one, that includes part of Summerlin South and the communities just to the east of it, the median price is much higher. So, when it comes down to a specific home in a specific neighborhood, again, it takes more fine-tuning to narrow that down, and you'll want the most current and accurate data available to help you determine value and affordability. Now, you already had a quick look at the do-it-yourself home search on my website. It is free for you to use, and I don't require you to register, nor do I harvest your data. There, you can also find a link for a mobile home search app for Android or Apple, again direct from GLVAR. The link takes you to Google's Play Store or Apple's App Store to download and install, depending on your device. In full disclosure, this GLVAR app does include my branding, and if you choose to register, I can see which homes you have favored. But there's also a much better way to look for homes. If you contact me, I can set up a customized search with your specific home needs. Once set up, you'll get an original email that will include a link to your personal portal with homes that meet your criteria. After that, you'll automatically receive emails for any new listings as they are added, or updates to ones that you already have, such as for any price changes or photos added. By clicking on the link in the email, it takes you to view the light version of that listing in your personal portal. You'll also notice at the top the status of the home as to whether or not it is available. I can also include under contract or sold, but most prefer just the available listings for less clutter. I also have to mention that there are some changes that became effective July 9th, 2018 for contingent and pending, or in other words, under contract listings. For just the contingent, but are still able to be shown, they will be marked as UCS, or under contract show. With this, the seller has the option to continue to show the home, but if you choose to make an offer, it would only be a backup to the one already under contract. And obviously, if still being shown, could have more than just your offer as a backup. Then for both contingent and pending listings that are not being shown, those will be marked as UCNS, or under contract no show. How the many online sites will handle this change is yet to be determined. Back to what is available with the listings I can provide, you can view the home's images, Now, this is all the data that the online sites can scrape to display. So, why it can end up distorted or not used is beyond me. You can also add notes for yourself and for me as to what you like or dislike about this home. Also a location map and general property details. This includes any HOA fees, and yes, some homes can have more than one, and also master plan fees if they should apply, along with current annual property taxes. On any of the listing pages, clicking on the heart icon saves the home into your Favorites tab. You can scroll through all the homes stored in your search results, or by clicking back to results, see their locations on a clickable location map that goes to their thumbnails. Or scroll down through them with a mouse over highlighting their location on the map. You can also view images in the thumbnail window, the enlarged view, or a thumbnail gallery view that offers the same features for viewing the images. Or choose to view these homes in a thumbnail list view, in a separate album page, or as a small slideshow. With any of these options, clicking on an address will take you to that light overview of the property. From there, clicking back to results at the top returns you to all results in that search. Thumbnail order can be changed from recently updated, price, status, and approximate square feet. There are a lot of other options, and you can choose your own personal preferences. But if you want very detailed information about the property you just viewed, then after Back to Results, go to the top right of the page, and from the drop-down menu select Client Brochure View. On this, it begins with property and area details, followed by home type, garage spaces, living area and if any additional area, pool and spa information, lot size, directions and description. Next, you may have approximate room sizes, and while abbreviated, any features they may have. Room locations, appliances and utilities, and whether or not included, along with any other interior features or fencing. Under Utilities, the direction the home faces, exterior features, heating and cooling systems, and other utility information. Then financial information that includes all association fees if they apply, and the HOA's name and phone, the asking earnest money amount, then assessments, if any. And current annual property taxes. Plus, something else that can affect your cost of ownership. If there are any lids or SIDs, and you can see both the total balance remaining and the annual amount, typically paid every 6 months. Last but not least, the type of financing the seller is looking to accept. So a pretty thorough overview to help you decide if this property could work for you. Going back to the top, you can also scroll through all your results in this client brochure format. I can also create multiple searches for separate areas so that you can compare the available homes, prices, and costs, and can stop one or all of them at any time just by letting me know. And of course, if you want to change anything in the search, price, features, whatever, all you have to do is tell me. So as you can see, you have a variety of options on how to view or save your search results and the level of detail available. Now you may have noticed that you can contact me at the top of the page, and with using that, you won't be pestered with a multitude of calls, emails, or texts. Just answers to your questions and any other assistance you may request. Now, of course, I don't expect this video to stop people from using the many online home searches, but at least now you know where you can find the actual source information. And if nothing else, use this to compare what you may be finding online. I hope this gives you a better idea of what can happen when looking for homes online and what can be causing some confusion between what you may see and what I may have to say. Of course, I think technology can be a wonderful thing when it works. Let's face it, you wouldn't be watching me right now without it. But when it can cause friction between you and the agent who can actually help you, when these sites admit that you need an agent, and apparently they need them as a revenue source, this doesn't appear to be doing a good thing for the consumer when these issues arise. Now, to be honest, while the GLVAR database is the most accurate and up-to-date source, there can always be a possibility of some issues turning up. A large amount of our MLS information is automatically populated from both public records and information gathered over the years and have access to data from any previous listings contained in our database. But in my personal experience, errors are fairly rare, and something that as an agent I can normally research, correct, and verify. I also have access to additional information and sources to accomplish just that. Plus, I have another tool the technology just can't seem to do. If something doesn't appear correct, I can also call various sources and ask questions. This from listing agents, government agencies, or associations. Now, to also be fair about online home search sites, they can offer some things that as an agent, I can't. That gets back to all those laws, rules, and regulations I must follow. For example, I can't provide you with a single information source for schools or crime rankings. Doing that would be considered steering you to or from a property. That is a violation of the Fair Housing Act and a consumer protection. Besides that law, even the FBI warns of the pitfalls of crime rankings, with ranking sites using their data in a way that may be creating misleading perceptions. But with these advertising or marketplace sites, as they're often called, it appears they don't have to follow real estate laws and rules. They can pick a single ranking source to use and display, even though there can be a variety of results depending on methods used to generate their information. So while yes, it is much easier today to see homes for sale and plenty of sources for information, but one thing hasn't changed, and that's having the best available information and guidance you need when making such an important purchase. So thanks for watching, and I hope you'll subscribe to my channel for a better look into living in Las Vegas. And as always, if you just have questions or I can help you now, please don't hesitate to get in touch.